Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Cook with NOPL. I'm Sarah from the North Syracuse Library and I'm the children's librarian. And this is my third cooking video I've done. So if you haven't checked out the other ones, I would highly suggest checking them out. Not to brag, but they are amazing recipes: avocado brownies and chocolate peanut butter balls. Today, instead of a dessert, I'm switching things up and I'm going to show you how to make a delicious dinner. And it's called a Cheesy Steak Skillet. And this one is like the dessert ones I did. This one is also a pretty, healthy recipe. So you're going to start out by using ghee. This is what this jar is. Ghee, G-H-E-E. It's pretty much a clarified butter. It's good for people if you have allergies. It doesn't have the milk in it. So it's kind of a little bit better for you than regular butter. And this is what the recipe calls for, so I like to follow it exact. So then you're going to heat up that ghee. So the steak you're going to use is a skirt steak, but when I was getting the ingredients, there was no skirt steak. So I'm trying a strip steak, so it'll be interesting to see how that turns out. So after you get this heated up a little bit, it's already starting to melt, you're going to add your steak. So I got my steak cooking, and you're going to want to cut the steak up so it looks like a little cube like this. And you add it to your pan. How long you cook your steak depends on how you like your steak cooked. So I like my steak like a medium rare, so I won't cook mine as long. But if you like your steak a little more well done, then you want to keep it in the pan a little bit longer. So I'll probably have mine in for about 4 minutes. Should be good to get it how I like it. Okay, so now your next step is you're going to take away the steak and set it aside. You're going to add some more ghee, which I just did. I added a teaspoon of ghee. And then you're going to add your onions. And your onions you're going to cook for about 3 minutes. And just make sure you're moving it all around in the pan and keep an eye on the time while you get ready to add your next ingredient. Okay, so I've had the onions going for about 3 minutes. Your next step is one of my favorite things to add to a recipe, and that is garlic. You're going to need 4 cloves of garlic, and I'm lucky that I have this really cool garlic press that makes adding garlic so much easier because I don't have to skin it or mince it or anything. So once you get your 4 cloves of garlic, you're going to cook it for another minute. So I have my garlic going. It's smelling really good. And I'm ready for my next step, which is 2/3 of rice. And I am using the long grain brown rice, which is if you're looking to add fiber to your diet, this kind of rice has a good amount of fiber in it. And so you're going to mix this around and cook it for about 3 to 5 minutes. So your next step is you're going to add your vegetables, which I already did. I used 1 cup of green beans and 1 cup of green beans and a little less than half a bag of frozen peas. And now I'm going to add 2/3 of veggie broth. You can also use chicken broth, whatever you have on hand. And that's you're going to hear it sizzling. You might even hear it as I was doing it. And then just stir that together. And if you use fresh vegetables, like I used fresh green beans, make sure you wash them. So you also have some spices to add. So we're going to do a teaspoon of ground turmeric. And since my teaspoon is a little dirty, it's got ghee all over it, I got a half a tablespoon, and I'm just going to sprinkle it around twice. And then the other one you're going to need is a teaspoon of paprika. So at this point, you're going to want to turn your heat up a little, and you're going to want to bring it to a boil. And then once you get to a boil, you'll have to get it to a simmer, and you're going to have to cook that for 45 minutes. Okay, so I've had this in there for about 45 minutes. The liquid is all gone and the rice is cooked, so that's how you know it's done. So you're going to add that steak you cut up back in. There we go. Now I'm just going to move it around the bowl a little bit so it's a little more spread out. Or the pan, this isn't the bowl. And now we're going to do the best part. That's the cheese. And so, you're going to do shredded Colby Jack cheese. I already measured mine out. This is the part where I have to be good because I love cheese. I would have all the cheese there is, but the recipe says 1 cup, so that's what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to move it because you don't want to get every piece covered. And some of it fell on the stove. Don't want to waste any cheese. Sprinkle it. I mean, a cup's pretty good. It pretty much is covering the whole thing. There's still some stuck in this cat cup I have. And then you just gotta wait for the cheese to melt, which won't take that long. You can even move your dish, or you can move the stove to even a low heat because you don't want anything to burn. And it will still cook. Okay, so I have the cheese all melted, and I forgot to grab a fork. So the cheese is all melted. Here's a little bit what it looks like. And it's actually still pretty hot. I'm gonna do a little taste test. Oh, look at that stringy cheese. The perfect dinner recipe. So if you try this out, please share with us on our Facebook page. And don't forget to tune in next week for our next Cook with NOPL. Bye.